For too long, children suffered while jarring interests caused stalemate in the efforts to improve our schools. Since 1946, Congress tried repeatedly and failed repeatedly to enact measures for elementary and secondary education. And now, within the past 3 weeks, the House of Representatives, by a vote of 263 to 153, and the Senate by a vote of 73 to 18, have passed the most sweeping educational bill ever to come before Congress. It represents a major new commitment of the federal government to quality and equality in the schooling that we offer our young people. I predict that all of those of both parties of Congress who supported the enactment of this legislation will be remembered in history as men and women who began a new day of greatness in American society.
The goals of No Child Left Behind, the predecessor of this law, were the right ones. High standards, accountability, closing the achievement gap, making sure that every child was learning, not just some. But in practice, it often fell short. Over the past 7 years, the good news is that our students have made real strides. High school graduation rates have reached an all-time high. Dropout rates have hit historic lows. We're training tens of thousands of outstanding math and science teachers. More students are graduating from college than ever before, and more than 1 million additional Black and Hispanic students are now going to college. So there's some real good work that's been done. But we're here because we all know that there's a lot more work to be done. And in today's economy, a high-quality education is a prerequisite for success. We're going to have our young people master not just the basics, but also become critical thinkers and creative problem solvers. Today, I'm proud to sign a law that's going to make sure that every student is prepared to succeed in the 21st century. We've got to learn what works and do more of that, and we've got to get rid of the stuff that doesn't work. And that's exactly what the Every Student Succeeds Act does. First, this law focuses on a national goal of ensuring that all of our students graduate prepared for college and future careers. It builds on the reforms that have helped us make so much progress already, holding everybody to high standards for teaching and learning, empowering states and school districts to develop their own strategies for improvement, dedicating resources to our most vulnerable children. And this law requires states to invest in helping students and schools improve and focusing on the lowest performing schools and closing those big achievement gaps. Second, this bill makes long overdue fixes to the last education law, replacing the one-size-fits-all approach to reform with a commitment to provide every student with a well-rounded education. It helps states and districts reduce unnecessary standardized tests so that more teachers can spend time engaging in student learning. Number 3, expand access to high-quality preschools. And finally, this bill upholds the core value that animated the original Elementary and Secondary Education Act signed by President Lyndon Johnson. The value that says education, the key to economic opportunity, is a civil right. With this bill, we reaffirm that fundamentally American ideal that every child, regardless of race, income, background, the zip code where they live, deserves the chance to make out of their lives what they will.
In 1975, many students with disabilities really were not attending schools. Many were institutionalized. Some were at home receiving really no services. And others may have languished in school without the individualized programs that they required. Students with disabilities before the law were discriminated against because if they were disabled, they were not afforded a public education. IDEA required a set of rights and protections for students with disabilities and their families. The law established, most importantly, a right to education for all children with disabilities. The performance of students with disabilities in pretty much both reading and math hovers around 10% proficient, and unfortunately it's been pretty flat. We haven't seen any significant uptick. Most students with disabilities receive most of their education in general ed classrooms. Often the general ed teachers in those classrooms report that their training really hasn't provided them with the range of skills that they need to deal with this level of diversity in their classrooms. Looking into the future, a lot of things that we've learned through research are not yet implemented, and that, of course, points to the importance of investments in technical assistance. So over the last 40 years, we've seen an increased focus on the right to education for students with disabilities.